Hey Bobby, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I just couldn't find my mute button.
Oh, okay.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Let me just, I think, I think Kajal asked me for the meet link, so let me just send it to her. She will be joining today.
Good, good. Have you been following what Gianluca's been doing?
Yeah. I think even he posted on LinkedIn about his work. So I
Yeah,
have
is
been
that
following, and
awesome?
he Yeah, and in the last meet, I think he was also planning to write a blog about his work. So I even shared Min's email address with him so that if he writes, he can always send it to Min and get it published at hyperledger.org.
Ooh, I hope he did. That's a great suggestion for him because I just came across it on my LinkedIn feed this morning. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, he has been recently sharing his work with Hyperledger at his LinkedIn also.
Well, that's
So
really, I mean, I've never, I'm very impressed with his work because I've never seen anyone come into the community like he has. Taken the initiative, created the lab. I mean, he doesn't have a company backing him, and usually that's how the labs come out when you have a full company backing him. So when Richard Reeves asked me any suggestions, I gave him two suggestions, and the first one was, you need to support this. I mean, he's doing this, and he doesn't have, a company backing him or the support of anybody. So hopefully he'll
exactly.
and what he's doing is the best thing. He's drumming up interest, which
Yeah,
is
and
good.
also doing, such a huge task single-handedly is like,
It's
I mean,
amazing.
yes, it's amazing. Like coming up with such a model which is able to, generate answers by searching through all the, libraries and the documents is really, really, it's an amazing start, I would say.
Yes, yes, and we have to be able to support him any way we can moving forward. So we have to see what that looks like. Hopefully he'll join us. I'm just gonna get up and shut
Yeah, I
my
think
door.
he will be joining.
Hold on just a moment. Okay, I'm back. I have this dog issue. I have two dogs now, and they don't get along with each other, which is something I never considered. I just thought dogs got along with other dogs.
Okay, so you are a great pet lover also, right?
Yeah, I live on a farm, so I have lots of animals walking around, and this dynamic with these two dogs is just freaking me out. I seriously have to separate them in order to like work. I have to put one in one end of the house and the other in the other end of the house. Oh, somebody else has joined us. Oh, too poor. Okay,
I'm
so hey, how are you?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I am just catching up. I was in Florida last week. I apologize for not giving anybody notice that I wasn't going to be at the meeting. I had every intention of being there last week, but I just woke up at 10 o'clock and the meeting was over. So vacation does that to me sometimes.
It happens.
Just comes up from
It
behind.
happens with me every time before my college classes.
I woke up, it was 10 o'clock. I'm like, oh my God. So that was quite shocking for
It
me because I
it
usually
happens with me every day for my college classes. Every day, it's a everyday
Now, are
story.
you finished with school?
I'm currently doing my masters. I finished my graduation. After that, I joined for my masters. So I'm doing that. And every day, this is a common story. Just waking up and running for classes. Because
Yeah, I
earlier
think,
I had my mother, and she used to wake me up.
well, that's what's so funny because I don't know if you know this, I have a set of I have four kids, and my youngest is a set of twins, and they're in college. So one, my daughter goes to
Okay.
the university or goes to Boston University studying computer science. Nothing to do with blockchain though. She thinks blockchain is for her mom. And then the other one is in the University of Delaware. And neither one of them would get up like from their alarm. I would physically have to go up and shake them awake. So I have no idea how they get to class. And then I saw their schedule and they scheduled nothing before noon.
That's
Like, oh, well, that'll work, you know.
yeah.
You don't have to get up.
Mm.
So I am right now going to try to find information on the mentorship because I think that's wrapping up. Did you get any
Yeah.
information? Is there like did
Uh,
she give the date for the presentations?
she didn't give me any date, but she asked me to create a child page below the the project page and write about whatever we have done. So I added the presentation links of the presentation and also the meeting links where we presented. Yeah, the deliverables page. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, and the TOC meeting links where our documentation task force presented. And also it was asked to write a link a article if you have written uh, during the mentorship period, so I linked that.
Oh, nice. I didn't read this. Good.
Yeah, I wrote that long ago after we had that meeting where we presented about the AI, and I found the topic very interesting, that working with AI tools, and just after that I wrote about that.
Excellent group there. Awesome.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yes.
Oh, I have to bookmark this. Excellent. I'm going to subscribe to your newsletter. Happy shush. Oh boy, here we go.
Because I really think there is a lot of things like don't use AI tools and all, but I think AI tools improves your efficiency so much.
Well,
So
I
much
even
just.
notice again because I have hold on a second. Oh God, puppy. Because my older hold on, get up here. So my older children, one is a hedge fund manager in Manhattan, and my son-in-law is a controller at Bain, which is a big firm in Boston. And they know nothing about using AI tools. Like they will come over. I showed my son-in-law Whimsical. I said, you should have a page for every project. He was like blown away. He was like, this is free. I'm like, yeah. So I don't, you're right. I mean,
Like,
people just
yeah,
don't understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Sorry about that. I was dealing with dogs again. I'm gonna have to run a kennel and put them away somewhere. So what we have to finish, oh, I'll do this another time. I'll do that another time. So what we just have to finish is the stuff up for men. We have the presentation next Tuesday. So the only work I think left is, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. Oh, I didn't log in yet. So just a question for for Arunima is first for the mentorship stuff and the task force wrap up. What do you think would be a concrete items or deliverables to give to the TOC that they could either adopt or vote on? Are there any? Because I know they're still all confused about what to use for the GitHub repo. what I would like to see, and if it's difficult, don't do it, send it back to me and I'll figure it out. But I would like to see a maintainer's user guide made with AI, just to take all of the stuff that's in there. I mean, I know Tracy already did this in a GitHub repository somewhere, everything maintainers need to know. But I'd like to see us deliver, and again, work on it maybe for the next, week or so until we get it finished. And again, if it's too much work, don't worry about it. So that we can say with our deliverables, here's what we suggest the maintainers. I don't think, unfortunately, they're going to adopt the Git book idea. Everybody still likes using Make the Docs, even though it's difficult. So I think that that's what we have to go with for this user guide at any rate, so that we can say, here is what we came up with. We feel documentation for the maintainers is the most important because their documentation is the community documentation. So here's our user guide for maintainers. So like, for instance, our first student or learner using our user guide would be Gianluca, because he's a new maintainer. He doesn't know what to do. He, did the first part already, which created a lab, got me as a sponsor, and then got a lab stored. Tracy, I think, is his lab stored that's following him through the process. And he's doing the advertisement for it. And then the steps he has to do next should be written out for him, whether it's a GitHub repository, make the docs for the community, like just what he should do next. And then the same thing with the maintainers, like at the TOC, the meetings that are comprised of basically maintainers, basically, other than me. And those maintainers, they really don't know what to do or what recommendations we have. So I think in this user guide, or this document, or this, I think it's going to be a user guide, I'll put it up in the metaverse, should include a little snippet on how to make the docs for maintainers, so that, and a style guide repository, so they can pick the colors and the themes correct, or whatever, the choices of the templates for the Git books, or not Git books, sorry, for the make the docs are Hyperledger consistent, so that when you do go to these read the docs and make the docs, you can tell that it's one community. And if you think that's doable, what do you think about that, Arunima?
We can just start working on it, and whatever progress we make, we can present it in the TOC meet.
Yeah, I think the only thing I would really like to see complete would be the make the docs user guide. And I think we already have that somewhere in one of our presentations. I'm not sure if it's complete, but just so that we can at least say, here is a document that if you're taking your GitHub repository and making Hyperledger documentation, here are the steps. Here's a checklist. If we could get that to them by the time, and again, our recommendations, the task force recommendations, are not tied to the mentorship program. I'm on the TOC to the end of the year, so I have basically in my mind the end of the year to do this too. The only thing for the mentorship that still needs to be done is that presentation next Tuesday, and that will wrap that up.
Okay.
But so this
in that
user guide
presentation,
is something we have time.
okay.
I'm sorry, I
So
interrupted.
in that presentation, you are thinking of, providing a maintenance guide using AI, and like helping them with the choices or templates for make the docs, and uh, the checklist that the maintainers can do whenever they start a lab, right? Something like this.
Correct. And I'm going to just jump in here because, okay, so last week at the TOC meeting, Tracy asked if there was any recommendations from TOC members that they would like to see in the next year. And I'm education, user guides, library. And I basically said, I'm not running for the TOC because I want to devote my time to the metaverse library. I want that to act the Hyperledger metaverse library. And Tracy was like, well, we're going to miss your input. Are you not going to come to the meetings? And I said, well, of course I'll be at the meetings. How am I going to know what to put in the library unless I go to the meetings? So I'm really doubling down my career on that metaverse space as a template for what I want my company to be able to provide for people. This library, let me just get, thank you. So that user guide and all that stuff would be up in the maintainers lounge. And again, when we do the presentation on Tuesday, I'm going to have the end of it, and we'll go over the presentation, I guess, a little bit in a few minutes. And then hopefully you guys will join me in the metaverse. I'll keep the Zoom room through the metaverse so people who feel like they want to join can. Why isn't this working? Question, have you tried to get into the Agora world from my website? Do you have to log in with your login, or are you already logged in?
I don't remember whether I had to log in or not, but it was pretty simple. Just I had to enter the code and I could enter.
I'm just
Yeah.
wondering what happens to people who don't have a Agora world login.
I don't think it was like a simple Google login would work. I think I didn't create any Agora World login as such.
Oh, nice. Or maybe it's just collecting information.
Yeah, I didn't create any Agora World login as such. A simple Google ID would work.
Okay, so what I envision is back here would be, again, I'm going to fix this much more, have it robust, have a lot more information so that if you are someone in the community that wants to create any kind of documentation, I'm going to have like presentations and the template for presentations, white papers. I'm going to create this inside here. So it's really, really foolproof as to when you come in, what you want to build, clicking on it, getting, right to the, whoops, too far. Presentation templates where you have all the style guides you can use for your presentations. And I really want that to be in here pretty solid. Again, I don't know what those AI tools look like yet. That's what in the email I sent to Robert Reeves about, supporting this and supporting Gianluca was, like we don't know what AI tools will be the ones that are the biggest bang for enterprise because it's so new. But what I did suggest is a place where people can gather and talk about those tools. And that's what I envision this inner rink for documentation and AI is to be a great space for people to meet and talk about it. And again, up here, sorry, I'm making you dizzy. Back here is what I call the maintainers lounge where it has all the information, this is like what I would see, hopefully, I'm assuming that the metaverse will be similar or not similar, but will accept Web3 technology. So here, maybe you could come in and just log in and then your so say I'm maintainer Bobby. I come in and I log in on this board. I type in my name, Bobby, and then all of these things are relevant to me. So I don't have to log into the dashboard. I can just go to the dashboard and see what's going on. So it's rooted somewhere rather than something I have to go get. And the same thing with like checklists. I want all the checklists here for when, like, for instance, Gianluca's moving out of lab into incubation. There should be another one right here that has that checklist. And then when you click on it, it opens a Google Drive doc that has that checklist. You copy it, you do it, you propagate it for your own information. And then over here is where I thought they could have the discussion, because even though we're quote unquote going with make the docs in this user guide we're going to create, I don't believe that's what the maintainers are happy with. They have lots of discussions they want to have about it. It's not end all, but to wrap up the task force, the best we can do is to give them what we were, commissioned to do, and that is guidelines when they're getting their GitHubs to user docs. How to keep the community consistent. So that's what we're going to give them. We're going to give them make the docs, but I do feel that there is a conversation that still needs to be had. So again, I really think that by next Tuesday, I'm going to have this as kick-ass as possible, so that that works for everybody. So again, that would be, Arunima, not to get off on too much of a tangent, but that would be where the user guide that we create would like live. So like maintainers would know that they could go right to that metaverse space, get there right on Hyperledger's website if they will drop that code like I dropped on my website, and people can just walk right around. That's what I want to propose for at the end of the year with the metaverse stuff that we're proposing for the task force. So we'll give them this user guide, and then we'll show them where it lives and show them how easy it is to get web-based into this library right off the Hyperledger website. And hopefully they'll do that. That would be great. So the presentation, any questions on like our recommendations, or we'll go over the presentation now, but the recommendations, just to sum up my babbling for the past 20 minutes. We have to present one more time to the TOC, not a formal PowerPoint presentation, but just like our findings and suggestions. If there is something if the TOC feels there's something we're supplying that they have to vote on, then that they'll vote on it. But I don't see anything more than just supplying and putting our recommendations down on paper for them to adopt, so that the maintainers and users can find this stuff. So that is the first thing that we're going to do is, again, give that before the end of the year, and also hopefully a user guide for the maintainers that at bare bone minimum, made with AI that shows how to use Make the Docs for their GitHubs repositories, and hopefully used with the style guide. Oh, that's still on my screen. Yeah, so this is this deck presentation. So it has all of the slides you can use. And again, if I would have known this existed, I would have used this for our presentation and made some, cute little moving, this is nice. All the work's done. So again, the community needs to know this stuff exists and where it is. That's why our second suggestion in the task force is the metaverse library. I don't know if it's going to go over. I don't think anybody really understands the potential, but we'll see. So that's the wrap up for the TOC task force findings that will go to the end of the year. And hopefully, again, as of last week, they hadn't pinned down a global forum, but the conversation had started. So I think within the next few weeks, we'll find out where and when the global forum will be. And definitely this is going to be one of the main lab things, presentations, workshops that will be running through the event. So that's the task force. Any questions?
Bobby, can you just tell me what exactly Global Forum is?
Okay, so every year, the folks at Hyperledger think it's a great, and I think it's absolutely vital, that the community get together in person. So they pick a location. And the last time I went was in Arizona in 2020. 2021 was, I think, canceled. 2022 was virtual, and 2023 was in Ireland, Dublin. So I have no idea where the next one is, but it's a huge event. It's like 4 days. All of the maintainers and projects have workshops and present. All the special interest groups have workshops and present. Thousands and thousands of people come. It runs from days. They have fun activities at night, like hot air ballooning and networking. And it's just a great event. And I'm sure there are sponsorships available for you guys to get over there. They want you guys to present and they want you there. So we'll figure out, once they decide where it is, how to get you guys there if you want to go.
Yeah, I think we would love to go there.
Yeah, so that would be the last thing really the task force has to do.
Okay.
And again, you might be doing something with the mentorships. They might have a presentation from the mentorship program to present to all the mentors and their projects. But the documentation thing would be completely different. That's a larger presentation that Min and the community, David Boswell, wants us to do so that everybody knows what's available for documentation. And hopefully we'll have that user guide done by then. We'll see. But so
Yeah.
the only pressing thing is for next Tuesday. And let's see. Is that this one? Oh, I'm not logged in. Just because the other dog barks doesn't mean you have to be quiet. So the presentation, I don't know, is that this presentation? I don't
Just
know
give
which
me a
is
minute. I think I have the link to the presentation.
I don't know which is the more current. Let's see if it's this one. If not, I'll let you share your screen or we'll just talk about it. So that each one of us will look at our part over the week so that
I'm
next.
just sharing it in the chat so that everyone can see.
Oh, okay, perfect. Let me get to the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, so all we have to do is change this for our audience. This is a global meetup presentation of people who are not just maintainers, but a lot of people who join these are I call them candidates for special interest groups, which for people who are not super tech savvy and join these meetings, that's a great place for them to go. And for the people who are tech savvy who join these meetings, we should be able to put them attach them to a project for them to start contributing. Obviously, we're a little partial to Gianluca's project, so we're going to send everybody that way. But that's just because we like that.
I think that is something that is like really amazing.
Yeah, so I think that I always run these presentations, and in the back of my head is what am I asking the audience to do at the end of the presentation? This time I'm going to ask them two things. I'm going to ask maintainers to join Gianluca's call, which will be, whatever time he wants, whenever he wants. But for right now, it can take over this time slot. And then the second thing is to, if you're not a maintainer or a coder, to join the metaverse so that they can see the special interest groups and presentations there. But definitely all the coders, I want to at least maybe Gianluca's not here, but have somewhere where they can sign up so he can start a mailing list and get them like either subscribe to his blogs or something. So his end goal of the meeting is to get maintainers to sign up for something. So he should have some kind of sign up sheet available to them, whether I put it in the metaverse for them to click on, or if it's just something we drop in the chat, or if it's a wiki page, however you guys feel the best way to get people involved by signing up. The easiest way to do that during a meetup, because you want them to have to put some information out or else they're going to not be vested. So again, Arunima, this is completely up to you guys. Tripura, you can do this too. This is, I do very, very boring presentations. So if you want to change this, if you want to go back to what you did in your summer vacation, I don't, this is completely you guys. But we just basically have to get the point across. I thought the presentation was well, received. I thought it was well organized with the indexing. I don't know if we want to change anything. Do you want to break it out into different sections of Arunima, or do you want to just everybody work on it at the same time? How do you want to?
I think I will try to make it a bit short and to the point.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever you think. I think a lot for what we're doing, the demos are the best. So if you can figure out who is actually going to be there for the presentation and which one of the demos they could take, you can always assign me one and I'll catch up next week to whatever, or just shoot me an email and say, everybody's covered, but this one, can you do this one? And I'll be, yes, stop.
Okay, I think by demo you mean the demo of the like AI tools, right?
Yes. Yes, that's
Okay.
more because yeah, definitely. So I unfortunately have to run because
Okay.
have issues in my house again. But let's keep in touch on LinkedIn about this. You guys can keep
Okay,
going
sure.
on this meeting if you want to talk about the presentation, figure out who's going to be there and who wants to do what. I don't have to do any of it except for introduce you guys, and I'll be in the metaverse. But if you need me to do it, just let me know. So if you guys will go over this right now for a while, and then next week we'll practice it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I have one suggestion that we can add, a group link when everyone can join Gianluca's workspace, so that like a group where we can say like Telegram group or something which they are comfortable with, so that they will be popping out there and they won't have to log in something, and it will won't take much of their time. So
That's
yeah, that.
perfect. That is absolutely perfect. All right, so you guys keep talking, figure out how the presentation's going to go. Arunima, you might want to share your screen after I hop off. And have a good week, and we'll go over the presentation for next Tuesday night, tomorrow or next Monday.
Uh, Whatever suits you. I think we can have a demo this week. It will like just give us more time to practice and work on the shortcomings before presenting it finally on Tuesday, I guess.
Do you want me to send out a link for Friday?
Yeah, yeah, Friday works.
Okay, I'll send out a link for Friday, same time,
Yes, yes.
for us to practice before next week. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Have fun doing the presentation and
Okay, I think Bobby is gone. Kajal and Tripur, I guess both of you will be there, right? On Friday and Tuesday on Monday.
Yes, I'll be there.
Okay, so I
Yeah,
think then we can I can keep your parts on the presentation. And for the remaining parts, I'm seeing what I can do. If either I will see or we can make those parts short and cut it out.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think it will be pretty same. Just we will like do a walk normal demo of the presentation, the one we did with the TUC. Tripur, are you saying something?
I didn't catch what the last thing did you say?
I said that we will do a normal like practice for the presentation on Friday, and then we can see if it requires any modifications or not. And also, I will be going through like this whatever she's like like about the guidelines for maintainers. I will go through that. That's it. Like nothing new. I just wanted to confirm that both of you will be there or not.
Yeah, I will be there.
Yeah, yeah, okay, that's fine. So
Yes.
bye bye. Have a great day.
You too.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.